mighty leave starts for D-Day Canadians as they entrain at a port in Holland. The lucky members of the first draft had their names drawn from the proverbial big hat, and are they thrilled. After low country mud and the royal suite in a slit trench, a bed with real sheets is going to look mighty good. It won't be long now. They're off on the first lap of a very pleasant journey. At the port of embarkation, passes are distributed, pay is drawn, and the QM is available for last-minute issue. Credit is due the excellent organization which starts the leave off on the right foot so efficiently. Soon in many an English home in Surrey, Sussex, or London, Christmas will be celebrated all over again. Soon the adopted sons from Canada will be back among boon companions in dear old Blighty. It might be a pond in Penetang, Red Deer, or Truro, but it's a natural rink behind the lines in Holland. Old Man Winter has moved in permanently, and Johnny Canuck is right at home on his borrowed skates. Two may be company, but a crowd is much more fun. Like Canadians, young Holland is practically born on skates. This year, with broken dikes and a recent flood, half of Holland is a huge ice rink. Dutch skates are made differently to ours, but they do the job just the same, and the fun goes merrily on. Are not content with one skating partner. It must be three or else. I wonder what it is some fellows have that we don't have, eh, Corporal? If we had known this sooner, we would have brought the regimental band. Dutch shoemakers are working overtime these days to keep up with the Canadians' demand for souvenirs. Representative of the land of dikes and windmills are the famous wooden shoes, or klompen, as the Netherlanders call them. To make a poplar log into a finished shoe, 6 processes are necessary. The shoemaker usually puts 10 pairs through at a time on the assembly line principle. It takes roughly 1 hour to make 1 pair, less the fancy paint job. Strangely enough, wooden shoes are quite comfortable. They are worn outdoors only and are left on the doorstep when entering a house. Canadian troops have been buying so many pairs to send home that the shoemakers have been working night and day. They have evolved a miniature model which can be mailed more easily. Wrap up another pair for me, shoemaker. Maybe after the war, the forest-fashioned floor chimes will come in handy on a rainy day. Warriors turn troopers as a frontline fighting unit leaves the FDLs to don the grease paint. The regimental entertainers of the famous Essex Scottish present a command performance. Originally presented under the very nose of Jerry, to their own unit only, the fame of the troopers spread. The show was so well received that the GOC requested it be brought to the rest of the Army, much to the Army's delight. All the costumes and props were secured piece by piece by the entertainers themselves. They have been carried along with the regiment during all its moves since D-Day. One of the features on the bill is the teetotaler act. You can make mine ginger ale. proud regiment, as distinguished in play as in the field. The long list of battle honors is witness to the ability of that line unit from southern Ontario, the Essex Scottish. Through the tense situation in Greece, Canada continues to send relief to that war-torn country. Since the inauguration of shipments from the Dominion, the people of Canada and the Red Cross have shipped over $15 million worth of supplies. During the German occupation, an agreement was signed between the belligerent nations guaranteeing safe conduct for neutral ships carrying the vital commodity. Distribution is supervised by a Swedish-Swiss commission. Since liberation and the ensuing Civil War, cargoes of flour, fish, soups, milk, sugar, clothing, and medical supplies continue to be loaded from eastern Canadian ports. 15,000 tons of wheat per month is shipped. The mayor of St. John, New Brunswick, presents a Greek flag to the skipper of the Swarva. The ship is one of 15 Swedish vessels engaged in the good work. At Piraeus, the port of Athens, the Swarva docks with her cargo. Canadian food, which has meant the difference between life and death to the Greeks for so many years, is unloaded into waiting lighters. During all the troubled days of civil war, the shipments continue to pour in. Canadians occupy a warm spot in the hearts of the Grecian people. When their troubles are settled, the bonds forged during days of tribulation will remain forever constant between Canada and her friends of Greece. Smashing north after the capture of Ravenna, the 1st Canadian Corps reaches the Lamoni River. With steep banks and a torrential stream, the river is one of those natural defense positions so well favored by the enemy in Italy. Moving up the Venice Highway, our tanks are halted on the south bank of the river. They take up fixed positions to support assaulting troops with their fire. From here in, it's an infantry show. Spitfires of Tactical Air Force strafe enemy positions. O-pips direct artillery fire. Rocket-firing tippies add to the firepower. Battle sees some of the most fierce fighting in the Italian campaign. 2 daring crossings are made to establish bridgeheads. Against strong enemy opposition, the bridgeheads are linked up and the enemy pushed back to the depth of a mile. Counterattacks are made with Tiger tanks and self-propelled guns, but Canadian positions hold firm. The Lamoni is successfully crossed. Through the breach in the Lamoni defenses made by the Canadian Corps, the 8th Army fans out through the heart of the Po Valley. The next objective is Ferrara, great railway center of Lombardy. Jerry's days in northern Italy are numbered.